So this look was inspired by this girl that I found recently. Her name is ItsLikelyMakeup on YouTube. This isn't gonna be like exactly the same, and the colors are slightly different. So I will link the original look down below just in case you want to find out where I got the inspiration from this look. But this is actually the look that I wanted to do on the singer of the music video that I'm going to be filming at the end of this month. Just because I felt like it fit the concept really well. But we're going to start with the eyes. So I'm priming my lids with the same Smashbox one that I always use. And then I'm going to give that a second to dry. I remember around the time that the Subculture palette came out and all that controversy was happening with the Anastasia palette. A lot of people are saying how a lot of their eyeshadows were like skipping. Of course, I've never tried that eyeshadow myself, but I feel like a lot of times people don't allow their eye primer to dry and they kind of just put it onto wet eye primer. But it also depends on the type of eye primer, but I've noticed most of them will dry down to like this kind of really like film-like finish. So if you're having problems with your primer, try letting it dry first. So in the original look, she actually used the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, but in this one, I'm going to be using these individual eyeshadows from Etude House. The first one is this color. It's kind of like a neutral brown shade. I've been so into palettes lately, I kind of forgot how good these individual eyeshadows from Etude House are. I actually also haven't really tried this look like off camera yet, so we're taking all sorts of risks today. An important thing to keep in mind, especially if you have hooded eyelids like me, is when your eyes are open and you're kind of looking straight forward, because your eyes cover a lot of the eyeshadow. If you see right here, this round lid shape where my mobile lid is basically, if you only apply eyeshadow there and you're kind of winging out the shape, you need to also make a check looking straight forward into the mirror and add shadow above a little bit so that you still maintain that almond shape. Because if you only put it on your mobile lid sometimes, especially when it comes to like eyeliner and things, and you look straight forward, because there's nothing like right up here, sometimes the shape of the eyeshadow can be more like this. Does that make sense? If your eyes are open and then like you only see a little bit of eyeshadow popping out here, I don't really think that looks that flattering. I think it looks a little bit elementary in terms, like, I'm not a makeup expert, but it looks very like unfinished to me. And of course it depends on the look that you're going for, but most of the time I feel like especially for these like contouring types of shades, you should look into the mirror like straight ahead and make sure that you are taking your eyeshadow up a little bit higher than your natural crease, I guess, if you have hooded eyelids. And the next shade that I'm going to use is like this really deep Marsala shade. This will go on the outer corner. Basically following the same shape, it's just a little bit more concentrated on the outer corner. And I'm blending it inwards towards the inner corner of the eye. And whatever is left on the brush, just on the bottom. And the next color I'm going to use is like a deep burgundy wine shade. It's not too far off from the last color, it's just more red. And this will go on the very, very outer corner. The whole point of this look is not really so much like you can see, oh, you see 3 different colors, but it's more like we're using these 3 colors to create a really soft gradient so that, I don't know, it's creating like a color story. I think though that's like the main essence of like the whole Korean style of makeup. Oftentimes with American makeup, it's more stark and you can see like the individual colors, but in Korean makeup, it's more about like adding these different colors to create a soft cloud of different shades and dimensions. And I think that's what really separates like Korean and American makeup. And of course, just the same as the other one, we're taking it downwards. And that's really why I don't usually often change the shape of the way I apply my eye makeup. It's all really just like the same places that I put it, with just different colors every day depending on my mood. And that's why people get bored of me. I did add a little bit more of that first shade in the inner corner because I felt like it was a little too light. And also we're going to be going in with this next thing anyway, so we'll cover up a lot of it, so I'm trying to reincorporate more of the first color. And then I did take in some more of that second color a little bit more onto the center of the lid. But what I'm going to do next is take this MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. You can also just use like a concealer or something. And we're not, so in her video, she like cut she started on the inner corner, she almost like cut her crease. But for me, I'm kind of just like feathering it in from the inner corner. So from here, taking it upwards. you do kind of have to mess around with it a little bit. Or just not even do it. But she definitely took it in way farther in, but I'm not gonna do that. It would just add some like light and dimension to the inner corner. And then I will put a little bit here on the inner corner of the lower lash line. I think if you use a concealer, it will definitely cover up more of the eyeshadow, but I kind of like the way that this paint pot is working with the shadow that's underneath, so it almost takes on the same kind of undertone. The bottom does look messy, but we'll fix that later when we do the face makeup. And then I'm going to be taking a glitter liner. This one is from Urban Decay, just on the inner corner, almost like we're lining our lids. It stops halfway. You do need to be careful though, because if you blink before it dries, then you'll fuck, like especially for me with hooded lids, you will fuck up and it will get all over your eyelids. And you really don't want this anywhere else. I really want everything to be matte, and then we get that little pop of like glitter. So I'm gonna build this up to the intensity that I want, and I'm going to stop and let that bitch dry. So while I was letting that dry, I also did my eyeliner, just my regular like normal eyeliner. I used the same thing I always use, and then I also put a little bit of mascara, this L'Oreal one. And I did just add a tiny bit more of that third color to the outer corner because I want it to be a little bit darker on the outside. But now I'm just gonna do my face makeup. I've been really into DNA by BTS lately, and my favorite part has to be like the hook. You know when you're watching Top Model and watching the contestants go on the runway and do their thing, makes you sit in your couch and kind of smize at the TV like, I can do that challenge. It's kind of how I feel with DNA. Oh my god, especially V's. Like, I don't listen to BTS all the time. Every now and then I will, but when I do, I'm always like, I forget how freaking deep V's voice is. Like, his voice fucking shakes my pussy to the core. Like, I need to use the bathroom before I listen to any BTS. His voice like shakes my bowels. Then I'm going to contour my face a little bit with this So Contouring for Sculpting Face by Vanilla Co. This is kind of like a jelly type of texture. It's like, I can tell there's a lot of silicone in here, but it's kind of like a cross between a cream and a powder. The texture of that is really nice, but the pigment is really light, so it's good for you if you like really natural contouring, but it's really difficult to really build up the color. So for those looks that are a little bit more, like for the contouring are a little more natural, then that's what I usually will go to, but we all know that I don't fucking care about like natural apparently. So this is what I was talking about when it comes to like eyeshadow. If you see right here, it kind of looks like a wave right here. I kind of have to lift my eyebrow a little bit and take the color a little bit higher so that when my eyes are open, it's more of like a rounded shape rather than like a little when your eyes are open. And then I'm gonna use this Colourpop blush in Cheerio, and I'm gonna put that on really close to the contour color because I want them to both kind of meld into each other. And just a little bit along the tops of the cheeks and the nose. Now I'm actually going to keep the skin quite matte for this look because that's just the look that I want. And also no highlighter, surprise, surprise. And now I'm going to do my eyebrows. You guys are probably wondering when the fuck I'd be doing my eyebrows. Now. Alright, last but not least, you got the lips. I'm just wiping off my lip balm. It's going to be another two-tone kind of combination. For my base color, I'm going to be using On Fleek by Pony Effect. And often you'll see me apply this and use a brush to blend it out, but you can really just put the color on and kind of spread your lips. still gonna use a brush though, because sometimes I feel like I have more control that way. That will be our base. And then for the inside, I'm gonna use a really deep black cherry. And this is from Tungstenwear. And it's like a matte lip tint. Not too much, so make sure you wipe off any excess. And when you blend it out, it's more of like a cherry color, but I want it to be a little bit darker, so I'm gonna layer it up again. I have this Ryan notebook that has all the poses that I need to do for the intro. So that's the final look. All the products that I use will be down below, and hopefully you get some inspiraciones from this. And make sure, again, you check out the original look that I got my inspiraciones from. So have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Sipping your pity pop in the corner. Damn, jealous 'cause you want what's mine. I hate you, but let's take a picture. When it comes to you, I have no interest. I won't be treating you like a princess.